Teacher has been suspended after allegations he allowed supposedly naughty pupils to be locked in a storeroom.
Ian Livingston remains the head of Coppins Green Primary School in Clacton tonight, but his suspension follows a concerted internet campaign by some parents who want him removed for good. Tom Barton has this report.
As parents picked up their children from Coppins Green Primary School in Clacton today, they were coming to terms with the news that the school's head, Stuart Livingston, had been suspended, along with another member of staff. It comes after a number of allegations from parents that disruptive pupils had been locked in a storeroom or cupboard. In a statement, Essex County Council confirmed that, following a number of complaints about disciplinary procedures, the Chair of Governors has suspended 2 members of staff. They say this was done as a precautionary measure and pending further investigation. Sarah Powell's 2 youngest daughters were in the school until a few weeks ago. Neither had faced the alleged disciplinary procedures, but she decided to take them out of Coppins Green and enrol them in another local primary.
My kids have never been put into this room, or cupboard, whatever you want to call it. They've never been put into there. But I felt I needed to move my kids out for my own sanity, for my own peace of mind. I'm leaving them in the hands of the school for 6 hours a day. I don't know what's going to be going on. Are they going to be too scared to tell me that they've been put in that cupboard? And the school they've gone to now, I know it doesn't happen there.
A Facebook page dedicated to the removal of Stuart Livingston has 159 members. But it contains both criticism and messages of support, something we also found among parents picking their children up from the school this afternoon.
If a child's lashing out and hitting and punching, sometimes you've got to move them into a safe place for their safety as well as other people's safety.
If there needs to be an investigation, then yes, he should be suspended to see whether he's guilty or not. So,
are you still confident enough to have your kids in this school?
Well, they're still going, so unless anything happens to them, then yes, I'm quite happy for them to go.
A lot of children are being moved out of the school by their parents because they don't believe in what's right, you know. They don't believe what's happening, and yet it's a bit of a shock to a lot of people.
An investigation into the disciplinary procedures used at the school is now underway by both the County Council and child protection officers from Essex Police. Mr Livingston is likely to remain suspended until that investigation is complete. Tom Barton, Anglia News, Clacton.
A former MEP from Bedfordshire has been warned he could face jail after confessing to fiddling more than £30,000 in expenses.
61-year-old Tom Wise from Leighton Buzzard changed his plea to guilty on the 3rd day of his trial at Southwark Crown Court.
The court had previously heard how the former UKIP member had spent a year channeling taxpayers' cash into a bank account he secretly controlled. Well, our political correspondent Emma Hutchinson joins us now from Westminster. Emma, more political scandal.
Yes, that's right. Talking about expenses again, but this time not MPs, but a former MEP. Tom Wise was elected as a UKIP MEP for the East of England back in June 2004. And shortly after that, he began siphoning money off from a secretarial allowance of £3,000 a month that MEPs are allowed. Rather than paying a secretary, he paid a small amount to a researcher and kept the rest for himself, spending it apparently on luxury items like a nice new car, fine wines, paying off his credit card bill. In total, he took around £36,000. If he hadn't been found out, well, it could have been nearer £180,000. Now, when this whole furore broke, UKIP kicked him out, so he continued his term as an independent MEP and didn't stand again for re-election last June. But this was the reaction from the UKIP leader today.
Look, you know, he ignored the procedures that I laid down for him. He broke the Parliament's rules. He did his best to cover his tracks. He lied and lied and lied. When I found out what he'd done, I immediately withdrew the whip from him and got rid of him. That was all I could do. It caused huge embarrassment to us. I'm just relieved, in a sense, that we're near the end of the road.
Well, Emma, that's how Nigel Farage sees it. What about the courts? What are they likely to do to Tom Wise? Are we expecting a prison sentence here?
Yes, we are. He's due to be sentenced next Wednesday, and the judge made it very clear today that he could expect a prison sentence. One other bit of political news tonight, David Howarth, the Cambridge MP, the Liberal Democrat there, has announced he will step down at the next election. He says he wants to concentrate on his academic career. Must say that that's nothing to do with expenses. He had an exemplary expenses record.
Well, Emma, that's the day job done. Before we let you go, though, we've got to tell the people at home that actually it's going to be the last we're going to see of Emma for a little while, isn't it?
Hopefully not too long, but yeah. Emma is rather pregnant with not just one baby, but 2 babies. Can you do a little side shot for us? Profile shot, Emma. Look at that.
Oh, lovely.
Pretty wonderful. Definitely got 2 in there.
Definitely,
Are you looking forward to it, Emma?
Yes, very much so, yes, very excited. A few weeks to go yet, but yes, very exciting. Well, obviously getting plenty of tips from people, including yourself.
Well, I know.
Brilliant.
Get your husband to make you lots of cups of tea, that's what I say. Get your feet up.
Yeah, have a great time. Look forward to seeing you when you eventually get back.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right, stay with us here on ITV Anglia. Up next, all the news from your part of the region.
Amanda's here with your bonfire night weather, and we'll be asking whether Guy Fawkes is falling out of favour.
Remember, the 5th of November, but have we forgotten why we're celebrating? Are we losing the plot?
And the trees were almost...
More news now from closer to home, and a soldier from the Household Cavalry has been cleared of killing a man outside of a Norwich bar. Daniel Gooder, who's 26, was today found not guilty of manslaughter and common assault at Norwich Crown Court. Gooder had denied killing Norwich father of 2, Timothy Moore, by punching him outside of the Sing Sing bar in the Prince of Wales Road in March. He was found guilty of a separate charge of affray.
A man from Suffolk is being denied British citizenship because of a drink-driving offence committed 3 years ago in America.
James Ryu was born in the States but has an English mother and grew up in Ipswich. Immigration officials have rejected his request to stay in the country permanently. Here's Alpa Patel's report.
I hope this works.
Despite it being James Ryu's birthday, there's little time for celebration. He's embroiled in a battle with the UK border agency, which has turned down his request to permanently live in this country. The reason? Because he was caught drink driving in the States 3 years ago. But James has lived here since he was 10, has a British mother and fiancé. He says he accepts he made a mistake, but has paid the price and is very frustrated with the situation.
I know there's a big issue going on right now, but I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, I have just as much right, if not more, than anybody else to be here. I have a background, and this is where I grew up.
The UK border agency says Mr. Ryu has a 2005 conviction from the US for drink driving, which is why his citizenship application has been refused. Mr. Ryu's conviction will be considered spent in 2012, when he will be able to reapply for citizenship. James says he's been told he must leave the country by Monday or face deportation. His mother, Jacqueline, can't believe the situation her son is in.
It makes me angry, actually, really angry. There's a lot of people going to be devastated if it happens. I mean, he's only got a few days left here, unless he can get an extension, because he's got nothing to go home to, nothing there whatsoever. He's here. This is where he belongs.
The family are now enlisting the help of their MP John Gummer, but the clock is ticking for James, and this might be his last family party for a while. Alpa Patel, Anglia News.
The former Norwich City footballer Peter Mendham is back behind bars after attempting to contact the ex-partner who he was jailed for stabbing. Mendham, who's 49, was released from prison in August after being granted parole. He'd served half of a 5-year sentence imposed for attacking his ex-partner Charlotte Hyam with a knife. It's now emerged Mendham's been sent back to prison for breaching the terms of his release licence by attempting to contact Miss Hyam.